I'm just gonna make a quick little video because I haven't been online for a while. Things have been a little draining in my life, but I just took a bath and got my dishes caught up and started some laundry, so I figured I might as well get this going too. I just want to show you a really quick little way to make scrunchies out of hair ties and some cute little yarn, because this color of red makes me think of Christmas. I wanted to make some cute little scrunchies that hopefully my hair will be grown out long enough for, or my mom is about to get a lot of Christmas colored scrunchies. And so I just made myself a loop. I love finger crochet because it's so easy and so cheap. Like, you don't have to get a hook, you just have to get your hands on some yarn. So I made a little loop and I just put, well, here, let me undo it and do it while I'm not talking to you. Made my loop by pinching and pulling, and then I reached through the hair tie to cast on, and then back on the outside of the hair tie, just made a second stitch so that I can get the right height that I need. And from here it's just going to be under, and then feed your working yarn from the outside and go inside and outside. My yarn's getting tangled up a little bit, but I'm going to try and show you, like, from your perspective. So I guess over my shoulder would be the easiest way. Oh, I gotta tighten that stitch. So I'm just going to take and go inside, grab a loop, and then outside. Oh, it's the same color as the chair in here. And pull through. Now inside for your loop, and outside to pull through, and then just repeat that all the way across. You're going to bunch it up, makes it a scrunchie. And I always give my hair ties a couple of pulls when they're brand new, but when you get to the end, you're just going to feed this and that and tie it off like normal. And this makes a pretty small one. I did a double crochet pattern that was significantly larger, but this one might actually fit in my hair. So I'll just finish her up real quick. So that you can see it doesn't take very long at all. I am using a size 6 chunky blanket yarn. I was working on a different project. I love the little baby blanket yarns. They're so soft. And I had more than I needed of this color just because I couldn't buy a partial skein. I had to buy a full skein, but I just needed it for a couple of pieces on that project. But that's alright, because it is the perfect little Christmas red or blood red, because I am a little more spooky than I am festive, but that's okay. And so, as you can see, I'm most of the way around already. It works up pretty quickly when you're using your finger because it's a big crochet hook. And you just keep on keeping on. I'm gonna untangle a little more of my yarn here. I'm just kind of sliding it, excuse me, scrunching it down and sliding it. That way when I put it in my hair and actually open up the hair tie, I don't end up with a bunch of gaps in the crocheted part. Oops. And if you drop something, you drop a stitch, or you think you've done one with your tension really bad, just undo it. It's called frogging, and I will say ribbit when I do it, just to kind of break the tension and avoid being like too angry with myself over something little, like having to redo a stitch or two. It's better than when I've had to redo rows and rows of projects, but it happens to everybody, so don't beat yourself up over it. Even though I've not been streaming this week and I've not really been posting much, I have still been making art and working on projects, which is nice, but I've not been working on the ones that need to be getting done. Like, I've got Christmas gifts that I need to make, and I was working on some Christmas gifts, but then I randomly decided to revamp my chore chart, and I randomly decided to revamp my what to wear for the weather chart, because, like, I'm not very good at looking at the weather and then being like, ah, yes, I know what I need to wear today. I have an understanding of how cold that is. I'm really bad at that. And I have a kid, so I have to dress us both properly for the weather. So I have a chart that I got, like, the original inspiration off of Pinterest a while ago. Like years ago. And then I hand drew my own designs and layouts for a chart. And then I just, because I was procrastinating and I didn't feel like doing the projects that needed done, I had gone on Canva and used their art and stuff to make a pretty colorful version that wasn't just ink pen scribbles on a notebook paper taped to the front of my fridge. Okay, so I'm around here at the front. You can see I got the scrunchie bit. When I pull, I've got a little bit of gapping, but not too much, so I'm just going to slide a little more, do a couple more stitches, and then I'll end it up. When I am getting to the end, sometimes that first stitch ends up getting pulled tighter than you mean to, and the tension gets to be a little difficult. I have a crochet hook in front of me, but just because I want this to be finger crocheting and you don't need a hook to do this, you can either pull it through with your fingers if it's loose enough, but if it's too tight, you can use a stick, you can use the end of a paintbrush, you can use a pencil. Alright, I am back here at the beginning. Now I've got some good scrunchy coverage. Here's my loop, here's the first piece. And just pull this through. I am going to pull another chain, one more, and then pull on that. Give her a little snip. Slide it off the yarn skein. And then I've got these two little ends from my start and stop. I'm just going to tie them together so that it helps keep those last two stitches together even though they're fine. And then I'm going to weave my ends in. So I'm just going to push it through some of the gaps along where the stitches go, so that it just kind of blends in with the rest of the stitches and it doesn't stick out everywhere. If you have a sewing needle that's big enough for your yarn, you can do that, or you can use a crochet hook to pull it through. You're not making stitches though, you're just taking up space until you run out of yarn on the ends of your little tail there. Okay. And then boom, it took 8 minutes said and done, and that was with chatting and restarting in the beginning. And then my hair is a mess because I just got out of the bath, but that's what it looks like in the hair. And if you've got longer hair than I do, it'll look prettier, but there you go. Maybe that'll be your first project. It's really beginner friendly and super easy. It's just a repeat of making a loop and pulling the yarn that connects to the ball through it.